Hey everyone, and welcome back to the channel. Today, we're diving into one of the most extreme environments on Earth, the Arctic. Picture this: vast landscapes of snow and ice, the northern lights dancing across the sky, ... It's breathtaking, but beneath that beauty lies a brutal, unforgiving wilderness. Surviving here isn't just a challenge, it's an art form. So, what would it actually take to make it out alive if you found yourself stranded in the Arctic? Stick around, because we're about to break down the essential strategies, from building shelter to finding food that could save your life. First things first, your mindset is your most critical tool. Panic is your worst enemy in a survival situation. It leads to bad decisions, wasted energy, and a loss of hope. The moment you realize you're in trouble, stop. Take a deep breath. Assess your situation. This is the STOP principle. Stop, think, observe, and plan. What gear do you have? What are the immediate threats? Hypothermia. Dehydration. The Arctic doesn't give second chances, so every move you make has to be deliberate and calculated. Staying calm and focused is the foundation upon which all other survival skills are built. Now, let's talk about the #1 killer in the Arctic: the cold. Hypothermia can set in terrifyingly fast. Your immediate priority is to get out of the elements and insulate yourself. If you have a tent, fantastic. If not, you need to build a shelter. Snow is actually your best friend here because it's a great insulator. A snow cave is one of the best options. Find a deep snowdrift, preferably on the side of a hill. Start digging a tunnel upwards, then hollow out a chamber. You want the entrance to be lower than your sleeping platform, because cold air sinks and warm air rises, so this simple design traps your body heat inside. Remember to poke a small ventilation hole in the ceiling to prevent carbon dioxide buildup. No deep snow. A simple trench in the snow, covered with a tarp or branches and more snow, can also work. The key is to get out of the wind and create a small, insulated space. Once you have shelter, the next priority is fire. Fire is life. It provides warmth, melts snow for water, cooks food, and is a huge psychological boost. Hopefully, you have a lighter, waterproof matches or a ferro rod. But what do you burn? Finding dry tinder in the Arctic is tough. Look for dry grasses protected under snowbanks, the papery bark of birch trees, or tiny dead twigs at the base of shrubs. For kindling, find larger dead branches, and for fuel, scavenge for any deadfall you can find. Don't waste energy trying to chop down live trees. If you can't find wood, a blubber stove using animal fat is a traditional Inuit method, but that requires a successful hunt, which we'll get to later. Always build your fire on a platform of green logs or rocks to prevent it from melting down into the snow. With shelter and fire handled, let's address hydration. You might be surrounded by frozen water, but you can die of thirst. Never, ever eat snow to hydrate. Your body has to use a massive amount of energy to melt it, which will lower your core temperature and accelerate hypothermia. Always melt snow or ice before drinking it. Place it in a container near your fire. If you don't have a container, you can use a waterproof jacket or a piece of tarp, letting the sun or ambient heat do the work slowly. Start with a little bit of water in your container before adding snow. This speeds up the melting process. Aim to drink several liters a day, even if you don't feel thirsty. Dehydration happens fast in the dry, cold air. Now, let's talk about food. Your body is burning calories at an incredible rate just to stay warm, so you need to refuel. Foraging in the Arctic is limited, especially in winter. You might find some hardy berries or lichens, but your best bet for high-calorie food is hunting or fishing. If you're near the coast, look for mussels and clams at low tide. Ice fishing is another excellent option. You'll need to chisel a hole through the easel knife, or a sharp rock can work. It just takes time and effort. For bait, a small piece of brightly colored cloth, or even a shiny button can attract curious fish like Arctic char. If you have the skills and tools, setting snares for small game like rabbits or ptarmigan can provide a vital source of protein and fat. Remember to check your traps regularly. While you're working to survive, you also need to think about rescue. You need to make yourself visible. The 3 of anything is a universal distress signal. 3 fires in a triangle, 3 large piles of rocks, or 3 big X's stomped into the snow can signal to aircraft that you need help. Use anything reflective you have: a mirror, a knife blade, a piece of foil to flash at passing planes or ships. If you have brightly colored clothing or a tarp, spread it out in an open area. The contrast against the white snow will be highly visible from the air. Stay near your initial site unless you are absolutely certain of the direction to safety and of the means to get there. Wandering aimlessly is a common and fatal mistake. We also need to discuss the local residents you'd rather not meet up close. Polar bears. A polar bear is the largest land carnivore, and they see humans as a potential food source. The best defense is avoidance. Be constantly aware of your surroundings. Look for tracks. If you see a bear, do not run. Running triggers their predatory instinct. Make yourself look as large as possible. Make loud noises and slowly back away. If it attacks, you have to fight for your life. Aim for the nose and eyes. Having a deterrent like a flare gun is ideal, but in a raw survival scenario, your courage and aggression are your only weapons. This is a last resort, but you have to be prepared for it. Let's recap the core principles. 1. Stay calm and think. 2. Build an insulated shelter immediately. 3. Make fire for warmth and water. 4. Melt snow. Never eat it raw. 5. Conserve energy but actively seek food and signal for rescue. And 6. Be aware of wildlife and know how to react. Surviving in the Arctic is a battle of wits, preparation, and an unbreakable will to live. It's about respecting the environment while using its resources to your advantage. It's one of the harshest places on the planet, but with the right knowledge, it is survivable. Thanks so much for watching. I hope you found these tips insightful, though I sincerely hope you'll never need to use them. If you enjoyed this deep dive into extreme survival, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe for more content. Let me know in the comments what survival scenario you'd like us to cover next. Stay safe out there, and see you in the next video.